Last time, I finished off by saying I was headed to the airport to pick up a special guest. But that wasn't the complete truth. The truth is that I was headed to the airport to get on a quick flight to Rome, where I would meet my mom on her layover, wander around Rome for a few hours before catching the very last flight back into Tirana. And the next day, Pogradec welcomed us with wind, rain, and frigid temperatures. The weather at this time of year is relatively unpredictable, and even though the sun may be radiant one day, the next it retreats behind the clouds and allows the wind to have its way. And on those windy, cold days, my mom and I spent time in my apartment. She was working on her doctoral dissertation, and I worked on things far more elementary. To start off the basketball season, we had a game in Elbasan. So my mom and I hopped in the van and made the hour-and-a-half drive a few hours before tip-off. She had only ever driven past Elbasan, and while I don't think it's the most desirable attraction in this country, it is worth a walk around. So we ate lunch and wandered the streets a bit before I had to get suited up. It might be a prom and not a wedding. For our first game, it wasn't too terrible. We started too slowly and finished poorly, which ultimately led to our defeat. But there were bright spots along the way. We understood how to improve, and we're starting to gel more as a team. So things are looking positive for the next 7 months. And the following afternoon, I had to be on set for a commercial at the airport. But after that, it was right back to Pogradec, where the sun had decided to come out of hiding. Only 3 days after our defeat in Elbasan, the club scheduled a friendly match against a team from Ohrid, which is just across the lake in North Macedonia. We played much better during this exhibition and took another step in understanding how to play with one another. But having 2 games in a 3-day span, and another coming up in a couple more days, definitely took its toll on my body, as I found new bruises every time I glanced into a mirror. I was about to go to sleep, and then I pulled up my elbow, and I saw all of the bruising on it from the last game. Yeah, well, dude, that looks terrible from that angle. Yikes. Basketball's a contact sport. Anyway.
What does cumin go with?
Cumin?
What do you put cumin in?
I do a lot of Mexican stuff.
Oh, okay.
One bright, sunny morning, my mom and I made our way to Korce, to the home of my good friend Tommy. Tommy and I had made some mistakes the last time we worked on the van, and my mom brought with her some electrical pieces that would make the wiring more safe. So that day, that was our one and only project, aside from just spending time with Tommy and his family.
It would be nice to have one long piece of red wire and one long piece of black wire.
Getting things can be difficult in Albania, especially when you're looking for specifics. So I often have to rely on people coming from the US or sometimes just other parts of Europe to bring certain items. At times it can be frustrating because for most of my life I was able to just order something online and have it arrive to my house within a few days. But something that I've been noticing over my time here with this particular topic is that it teaches me to embrace delayed gratification. In a world where everything seems to be right at our fingertips, it's a good reminder that sometimes we need to learn a bit of patience, a virtue that I've been learning more about in every aspect of my life over the past 7 years. Well, the bottom one's not plugged in. But the top one turned on.
Now we just have to hope that it doesn't have a fuse and that this isn't too much power for the mountain.
Alright, try it again. 1 second, Leo. Yep, both are on. Anything smoking on the inside? Not yet?
I'm gonna actually hook this up and just test it.
Alright, cool.
From the factory, your ground wires are brown.
Okay.
For your light bar, your ground wires are blue.
This blue wire was connected to this one? What are you doing back there, Leo? That's right there? Yeah.
Sometimes we put Blippi on our yodel when we go to sleep, and they play What's Outside Your Window.
Is that a Blippi song?
Yeah,
I've never heard it before. How does it go?
it's like, what do you hear? Let's keep guessing the car.
We are guessing the car. You can't put your hand over my eyes or else I can't guess the car. Well, or else I can't see the cars. What color do you think the next car is going to be?
Blue.
You keep guessing blue.
Oh.
I'm going to guess black. Let's see.
Maria,
It's coming from this way. It's coming from this way. You got it! You finally got a blue one. Oh, how'd you get over here? You climbed over. What's the big idea, you little punk? I love this song. You know this one?
Yeah, it's Fluffy.
Perfect.
I'm an excavator.
You know this song? Apparently Tommy knows this song.
Oh yeah, dude. While I'm out here, might as well. It's the cleanest van I've ever had right now.
I hope not.
Mine is still filming.
And one day, with bluebird skies and the moon still standing firm in the bright morning light, my mom and I headed into the mountains. The last time she was visiting, over a year ago, my van was out of commission. Within a few days of her arrival, my clutch had gone out, and for almost the entirety of her stay, it sat at the mechanic. It was extremely limiting in what we could do, and at times I even had to resort to borrowing a car, even to get her back to the airport. Thankfully, this time around, the van was running smoothly. As smoothly as any 25-year-old vehicle can, when pushed as hard as I pushed this van. A car or not? Before I drove all the way up here to see it. Okay, so that mountain over there, yeah, that big, the whole thing, that's Velamara. I've hiked that one before, way back in 2020. And then that one, I forget what that one is. But, all right, let me consolidate my stuff real quick.
Lizard crawled up. I followed him and he went between two rocks. I went over and moved the rocks and he had to go for a little red thing like this.
Yeah, little salamander maybe. So there you can see one of the villages.
Yeah.
And you can imagine, not much gets there. That plant? And because I had the means now, I wanted to show my mom a bit more of the backroads of the country. The backroads that I turn on when I need to clear my head and get away from some of the frustrations of daily life. So we went for a drive to Guri Kamjes and took a short walk along the paths. It wasn't much, but it showed her a different side of the country that she hadn't seen before. The villages that we drove through and the breathtaking natural beauty. And still see the view. Yeah.
And then that makes me think of the briar patch where we're at.
Yeah.
Because of the way that it poked out.
Those are thorns too. Big thorns. Then, a few days later, I had a job I had to get done. Filming some drone clips of a few properties that are for sale. Is it a moth or a butterfly? And seemingly as soon as she got here, it was time for my mom to go home. So we took the new road that leads from Pogradec to a village along the road back to Tirana. It doesn't shave off any time at all for me, but it does provide a different look at the countryside and some of the villages of Mokra, showing my mom yet another part of the country that she hadn't seen.
They cleaned up a bunch of the trees so you can see the water right through.
And on the way, we took a quick stop at the Bridge of Golik, a long-lasting landmark steeped in deep history. And then it was on to Tirana, yet another place in Albania that my mom hadn't seen before, a common theme for her 2 weeks here with me. We walked in the center of Tirana and found the spot in Skanderbeg Square where the stones are labeled by what region they come from. And as the fickle sun reflected off the clouds, before lighting up the sky with an autumnal afterglow, we drove towards the airport. My mom's flight was an early one, and it was more convenient for us both for her to stay in a hotel next to the airport. So as she closed herself in the elevator, ascending towards her room, I walked back out to the van, ready to begin the next adventure. Thanks for sticking with me. I'll be back soon.